Welcome back. You're watching Morning Mix. Just because it's getting colder outside doesn't mean tending to our plants ends. Or maybe you're looking for the perfect plant now to decorate your home. Either way, we're filling you with all of the information you need when it comes to picking out the perfect indoor plant and how to continue caring for them throughout the year. We have house plant experts with Bedford Greenhouses, Emily Paget and Veronica McCullough, in with us this morning. And they are the experts here, and I'm ready to learn.
Oh, boy, are they the experts.
Thank you, ladies.
Good morning.
We appreciate you coming on the show,
Thanks
and thank you for
us.
bringing some plants with you. First off, okay, when looking for the right indoor plant, what are some things to consider before you even pick one out?
It's a great question. So there's actually a lot of things to consider, but mainly the things that we tell people to look out for is where are you putting in your home? So what is the light requirements?
Okay.
How often are we watering this certain plant, and how easy it is to maintain. There's a lot of beginner ones versus some more rare ones that are harder to maintain. So those are the main ones, though, are light and watering.
So now, okay, I'm guessing the different types of light depends on the different types of plants.
Correct.
Some need less, some need more. Okay, so you brought some good indoor plants with you here. What can you tell us about these? What's this like?
Okay. So this is a ZZ plant. They really like low light. I mean, they can tolerate it, and that's a really good beginner plant. This is a pothos,
Okay.
and they do really well in like hanging baskets, and they trail. They can cover up, you know.
What are the good plants for? Like they say, you have a green thumb. People who don't do plants, they have a brown thumb. We have zombie thumbs. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't really do anything with these.
Well, and you
so-
were asking about this earlier.
Yeah.
ZZ plant is actually a great beginner plant.
Okay.
You literally could forget about it. That is something I sent my son off to college with, if that helps at all.
Okay, and
Well, that says
is the
something right
plant
there. Okay.
still thriving?
It actually is, yeah.
Okay.
This one you can actually forget to water, and it will be fine. And it handles, like Emily said, the low lights very well.
Oh,
All right,
and
I'm
that's
gonna
something
take a
I wanted to
picture of
ask
that.
too, and I think you touched on it. When it comes to light and also artificial light, are there plants that are going to do okay in more of a dim setting?
Yes. Well, ZZ, that would be one of them. The pothos
Okay.
can handle
Yes.
some lower lights
It might
as well.
lose a little bit of color, but really, if you give it more sun, it'll perk back up. And
Yeah. And also a snake plant, which I see you have an artificial one.
Oh, don't we though?
Yes. No one
Spared
stepped
no
up
expense.
to want to water plants, but maybe after this, we'll get some real plants in here. And also one thing too, when it comes to buying a plant, what about the pot and the soil? How do you know what's best?
So a lot of times we take the nursery, these are nursery pots that they're in, we just can throw that right into, a more decorative pot itself, and they often do quite well. There will be tall tale signs when it is root bound, but some of them actually like to just be. So we always tell people, just leave it alone. If it's doing well, leave it alone. Don't try to repot it, especially this time of year. You don't want to be repotting stuff right now because we're getting into our winter season where they kind of go a little bit more dormant, and that's normal. So tell people not to freak out.
So now, like we said before, there are different indoor plants and everything. Some love light, some don't. Where's like a prime place? You want to have them right by the window? You don't want to have them near the window?
having them by the window might be your best bet if
Right.
it doesn't fully come in. I have all of mine right in the
Lined
window,
up. Okay.
and that's the best light that I can get. But if you have, more natural or artificial light, some of these plants can just go off of that.
Right.
It might be a little slower growing, but whatever you have.
So now, say you have pets or something. Are there indoor plants that you should avoid?
Yes, there are actually. That's a great question too, because there are a lot that are actually toxic to pets. We have little tags on our plants here that actually say whether they're toxic or not. So when you come to
okay.
Bedford, there's a little TOX, and we have a little cheat sheet too on the water and light requirements as well. So that's super handy when you come and shop with us, and obviously we'll help you along the way, but that is something that we like to reference a lot with customers.
Okay.
Another question I had too, depending on the season and when you're trying to find an indoor plant, is there indoor plants that you should stay away from, or does it matter because it's inside anyways?
I mean, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't suggest a maiden hair by any means. That one needs to be constantly wet, and it's very finicky. It needs certain humidity requirements.
Okay.
And then obviously the more rare ones too, like this variegated alocasia, I would not suggest for you to start with. I'm sorry, Monstera. Thank you. But yeah, like we said, it's kind of easiest to kind of harder, if you will. But yeah, I would suggest to stay away from ferns, probably. Do you have any other
Okay.
suggestions?
I mean,
Calatheas.
the crocodile fern and the bird's nest fern, I think they do a lot better than most of the other ones
Yeah.
because they do not tolerate drying out. And some people forget.
Maybe the less watering.
So how often do you talk to your plants? How often should you talk to your plants? You knew I was going to ask this.
Every day.
Plants need love.
Plants are people too.
They are. You cannot forget about them. And that's the important thing to remember is that they do. It is a responsibility. I mean, it's
Yes.
maybe not a child per se, but some plant enthusiasts like ourselves think they're children. So yeah, they do have requirements, and it's important to remember that every plant is different too. A lot of times people will just water them all at once, but that's actually really something not to do.
Okay.
Every plant needs to be treated differently.
Oops.
Yes.
All right.
So that
Sorry,
means you
plants
need
at home,
to
if
make
you're
sure
watching.
you ask questions and do your research ahead of time on the plant you get.
Correct.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Of course, you don't want to spend money on something and then kill it.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
ladies.
Yes.
Emily, Veronica, we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I've learned a lot.
Me too.
I think I need to swap some
Yes,
of
I
my
did.
artificial plants with some real plants.
And talk to them, of course.
Okay, and
Play
talk
them
to them.
That
some
one would be
classical
fun.
music.
Yeah, greenhouse, check them out. Okay, thanks so much.